to press here. Okay.
Okay, done.
Okay, we're ready. So, hello everybody from Sunshine Coast, Queensland. This is New Moksha Coffee on English, and today we will talk about feeling disrespected. Zoran?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you respect me?
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
If you respect me.
Yes, I respect you, and I'd like to start this with the question: why we need to be respected? Why we need that so hardly, so deeply? That's somehow so important to us.
Yeah. So first, somebody was disrespectful last time. Just kidding, and they complained that we actually they didn't see the coffees, right? Coffees were there, but here you go.
Yeah.
The
But this
coffees.
time are white. Last time one was blue, the other one was white.
Okay. They are the coffees. So back to your question. I think the need arises from the social survival. Okay, so we need to survive socially. We need to be loved, and we need to find the place in the society, the meaning of life, our purpose. We are social beings, and whatever is happening in our social circle is deeply affecting us. Therefore, for us to socially survive, we need to behave in certain ways, and therefore, if our way of experiencing this life is not approved, we feel that we are disrespected. So it is an aspect of social survival. So for us to socially survive, then we need to develop a number of strategies or coping mechanisms, how to be accepted, how to be loved, how to find a place in the society, and so on and so on.
So it's actually acceptance, right? If we are appreciated, then we are accepted.
Yes.
And that's the actually first point on the list to survive.
Yes.
Right.
But
is that but when we say feeling respected, so it's, you know, like, what is the truth there? So sometimes I could feel I'm not respected, and maybe they don't care, maybe it's not about me, it's not personal, it's not always so so straightforward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you say something about it?
Well, as part of the social survival, we need to ask ourselves, what is it that we're gaining with the respect? Okay, our truth or our way of living will not change. How we feel will not change, because that is as per our truth. So if somebody respects that or disrespects that, what is the gain? Okay, what is anything crucially changing within myself if somebody gives me respect?
But that's inner feeling, like,
Yes.
right? It's not actually, basically nothing will change outside usually, but it's inner feeling.
Yes.
Is it correct?
Yes, but the inner feeling is something that is triggered on the outside. So there's the first error that we do. Okay, so we shouldn't allow anything from the outside to form, define, or change the way I am inside. Okay, so that is
I agree, but probably you need
in the practice it's difficult to achieve. It is easy to say, but in my lifetime, I can give you plenty of examples. And before this live stream, Rosna suggested that I give an example from my life, and I said to her, I wouldn't know where to start. But has it really changed me? You know, I encountered so many difficult situations with people, and essentially, has it changed anything in me? You know, I'm still here.
And you're still same inside, you mean, right?
Yes, I'm same inside.
But did you learn
with a big difference? You know, I now I can distinguish clearly what is me, and also by having said that, I can also extinguish what are the attempts to socially survive, so that's basically a very clear line.
We want to say that like respect is something that we don't need to earn or to do something about it. Is this correct?
Exactly. I mean, we shouldn't really depend on it. And if we focus all our life energy and effort of living to be respected, we'll be giving power to other people. Okay, so the first question then arises, why am I with such people? Okay.
But if that's your family, what you can do there?
Well,
you can't choose.
You can't choose, but you need to understand yourself and try to be not affected by what's happening, because no matter what people think about you or their opinions, they're only opinions. Opinions are totally useless. Nothing will change within you if you're a conscious person, if you're living life consciously.
Yeah, but like, for example, I had one situation in my life. It took me like few years to figure out that I'm not wanted there. And as that people didn't want me there, I wanted to be there more.
Yes.
Like, so what was, it's actually at the end, it happened that I just, I drop it and I'm perfectly fine today. But it took me like maybe 5 or 6 years actually to drop that.
Yes.
Why? So as much as they reject me, actually they didn't want me, they didn't respect me, I wanted them more,
Yes.
I was like, more.
Yeah. I mean, it took you 6 years. I know some people who are still in it after many years, more than that,
Yeah.
Every suffering in our life, if we persist through the suffering, will get us to the point of surrender. So the pain will be so big that we will actually completely let go. And everything that is not part of our truth, I call it falsehood. So something that is false. Eventually, it will dissolve itself. So everything that is not truth in this universe has a self-destruction clause, which will be executed at some point. So if you go through suffering and if you persist, your resistance to letting go or change or whatever will get you to the point of total surrender. And then, as you mentioned, after 6 years, you basically came to the point where it was all the same
but
to you.
I'm still when I think about that period of time, I'm still confused why I use so much energy actually to be loved and to be accepted there and respected, because they didn't want me.
Yes,
that's like, why we have that urge? No, I want there. Yes. There are maybe some other places where I could imagine like that I didn't put my 6 years trying to do something which was, like I didn't do anything. I just lost my energy there, right? Yeah. And felt so many times like really sad about it. Imagine that I invested that energy in something much more suitable for me, in the people that would accept me, appreciate me, like I would grow. Like on this, I was, like I was sad. I was just trying.
You wouldn't grow. You grew because of that situation. That's the point. You see, we suffer in most cases because of the false identification. What you were doing at that time. You had some IT career, you had some position, and with position you had some salary, so on, so on, so on. Okay, so we identify ourselves with things and we start to suffer. Okay, so if we go backward and we undo this identification with false, then we will be facing our own self. So. It took you many years to arrive at that conclusion, but the false identification with with a role, and I don't know, you can be engineer, lawyer, cleaner, whatever. And with that, we are trying to achieve certain social status or social survival. And then we start to suffer because we give our power to others, and of course,
yes, we give,
we give our power to others. Now, if you withdraw that power and give it to yourself, then the position of being respected or disrespected is completely gone. So it becomes null and void.
Yes, but like when I was going through that phase in my life, I also experienced a lot of anger because I was not appreciated.
Yes, that's a reaction because when you really look at it, it's only your ego that is actually that is being hurt here. Okay, so in my time, especially in situations of a high significance, I used that opportunity to interrogate myself within. Okay, and the situation actually always helped me to find deeper meaning of my life. Okay, so it helped me, and I'm thankful to those people who challenged me because they really helped me to realize my own self quicker. So without them, I wouldn't be able to do that. But as the ego is hurt by the situation, we need to allow time to heal the wound.
Is it connected to feel like to self-respect?
Yes.
So is it our belief system? So
yes.
Who is the owner of that when somebody disrespect us? Who is the owner of that situation, of that feelings?
Okay, God.
So
what you need when you're talking about the ownership in any way, God owns everything. God owns your body and this world and everything you think that you own. God owns, right? So surrender it to the highest source. I'm using the word God. You can use any word for that matter.
Universe or
which
whatever.
describes the source, the supreme. Okay. So feeling disrespected is really an aspect of insecurity about yourself. So if we don't appreciate ourselves, if we don't value ourselves, we will depend on other people's input about how good we are, how well we do things, and so on, so on, so on. Okay, and our social survival depends on that we are social beings.
So it's actually really closely connected to that. Yeah.
So if you are socially challenged, that's something you need to understand. This is dating back from the cave age times, right? Being in a social environment means that we survive in this world, which can be called jungle, right? So we by ourselves we are not that capable of surviving unless we're in the group. But when we become part of the group, we need to develop social belonging, and then with that comes social rules. So depending which social environment we belong to, we need to abide by the laws of that social environment. So when we are socially challenged, our body reacts exactly the same as if we are physically challenged. So anything that endangers our social survival will start or trigger body reactions, which are identical as if somebody physically attacked us with a knife or whatever.
Really?
Yes. And then body will go into defense mode, right? So that's what you need to understand. So the way around it is actually to raise your consciousness by using that opportunity that is given by other people and go within and examine elements of my life. Okay, it's because society can be telling you that you are ugly, that you are fat, that you need to do this and that and the other, right? But the beauty is inside of us. It's there waiting to be discovered. So when we raise our consciousness and grow in self-confidence, we become neutral in relation to what world thinks about us, how world perceives us, what world can say about us, and so on.
So there is one more aspect that just came to my mind about of this, and actually what we are doing to be respected. Sometimes we are pleasing others.
Yes.
We are doing, like things that maybe just to be accepted, loved, and like respected. It's kind of thing like when I say rejected or accepted, it's also connected to
Yes.
respect, right?
Yes, that is the coping mechanism, and I work with these things. In kinesiology, we call these things avoidance behaviors. And avoidance here is because we are avoiding to take responsibility of our life. So we've given our power to others, to system, to politicians, to higher authority,
Family,
to whoever,
friends,
whoever is we deem as an authority. So we gave our power. And with that, we are avoiding to look within and take responsibility of our life. So the moment we do that, then we basically surrender the energy that was invested in all these coping mechanisms, right? And that energy starts to flow and feed the system where it comes from.
But sometimes we have situations like we can experience that at our jobs or I don't know, in different situations when we are somehow, let's say, humiliated or something.
Yes.
So then should we go inside?
Yes.
Or maybe we should react somehow.
Yeah, there is you see, it's a double-edged sword, right? So being aware person or spiritual or whatever you call it, okay, it doesn't mean that you need to become a doormat, okay? So if somebody attacks you, right, and starts hitting you, what you're gonna do? You're gonna practice love, peace, and harmony, or you're gonna defend yourself back, okay? So it is absolutely necessary to defend yourself, right? But then after that, we need to explore in which way we attracted that person or situation to happen to us, so that we can overcome that pattern, if it is a part of the pattern, of reappearing again. So it's a learning opportunity to basically progress in life through that. So I always say, and I had many examples of this, bad people, I don't want to use the other word, right? Bad people will always improve you, so as long as you use that opportunity to look within.
Yes. Well, bad people is maybe not a good word, but what you can say, the people who can, is there really bad people around?
Yeah, look, I mean, disrespect may come from jealousy. People may be threatened by your enthusiasm, or they may feel threatened that you're there to steal their job or to steal their information, they may feel threatened by you bringing different kind of energy into the
group
already
society,
established circuit. So you disturb the field, and then before you know it, you'll be attacked or whatever.
Sometimes there are just situations like some people, whatever you do, they would never respect you. Like it's kind of that separation is there for some reason that we can't really understand why. It usually that kind of relationships come usually in families. Or actually, those are usually the close friends, the close people.
Families are difficult ones because family ties and relationships, they'll give you the greatest and hardest trying in life. You will be challenged and all your spiritual knowledge, wisdom, everything that you accumulated will fall apart, you know. So,
So when you want to test yourself, if you are like really working on yourself hard and
Yeah.
everything, so if you want to test yourself, just go and spend some time with your close family, right?
Yes,
Mom,
yes.
dad, for example. You will see where you are exactly.
Yeah, but you know, it is a challenge that family will give you the hardest trying time, and yeah, and the way around it is basically to observe how your body is reacting to it without you reacting on any input, because ultimately action will cause reaction, and it will just the the circle will keep spinning, and every time on the next turn will become bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is very good that you can observe what's happening inside of the body and breathe through the process.
You know, there was like many years back, I was on some workshops, and they said, okay, if somebody hurt you, like for example, hit you or something, or hurt you in some way, so hurt back, but just a little bit less, you know.
Okay.
So, and if you go, okay, then because you have to, you know, like give it back, but just a little bit less. So when that person, it comes again, it will come less and less, so it will disappear.
Yeah.
Does this have sense to you?
Yeah, well, if you want to be engaged, I choose not to be engaged. See, one thing with this respect is, and I learned this through my life experience, that best thing is to give those people blessing and walk away. Because
Okay.
if people can't appreciate you and respect you, they're the ones who are losing it. Because if you're coming from a position of pure love or universal love, uh, then everything you do on the outside basically supports life, you know. But if people cannot appreciate that, then you walk away, because you need to save your dignity and your sanity, you know. Especially, for example, if you encounter people who are manipulators or narcissists and things like that, you know, they will challenge you. If you are by nature an empath, you will be surrounded more likely with people like that. So good thing is to just turn around and walk away, you know, because they are the ones who are losing the true friend.
And how to do that, for example, if you have that situation in your office, for example, what you can do there?
Well, there are other offices.
Change job.
See,
Huh?
the system, you see, this is a good example. And I'm glad you said this, because it came from the unconscious aspect of you. What happens is we human beings from the very beginning, we are taught that we of ourselves are insignificant and of no consequence, that we don't have any choice, and that we as human beings, we cannot change this world, you know. So when we grow up like that with that belief system, you know, then we find a job, and then we fall in a trap, and you know, we believe that we cannot leave that social environment, you know. So I always say, if you imagine a kingdom with king and the people, right? And if all people leave the kingdom, what happens with the king?
He will be no king.
He ain't king anymore, right?
He will be
So
no king anymore.
So you see how that's a reflection in this upside down world that we're living in. You know that 99.99999% of people gave power to 0.00001% of people, you know. And it's a real paradox, you know, that all our combined creative uh, uh, humanity and energy is actually given to a negligible number of people, you know.
So you want to say that really important thing is in every person's life is courage.
Courage, but you see, what is courage there for? Okay.
To step out.
To step out, but why do we have to step out? So that we discover our power. Okay. We cannot discover how powerful beings we are without the courage to step out. You know. And you are very powerful beings. Absolutely. The most powerful beings in the whole universe. And your bodies that you occupy are the most amazing bodies. And only through that body you can realize the truth. You can realize yourself. You cannot realize the truth of this entire universe and your own power as a human being through any other body. Okay, so that's why.
So, like, if you're a dog, you can't.
Well, dog will always be dog, right? Human can be anything. Human can be an absolute doormat and a slave, okay? But also it can be the most powerful citizen of this world. It can be a leader for the righteousness of this world. You know, same human being. What's the difference?
And what
the
do you
difference
need for
is
that,
the point of realization.
And what do you need for that?
You need courage. That's the that's critical aspect of becoming human, you know? So there's a lot of humans that basically not living like humans. A lot of people out there, they are still sleeping, you know, because they are conquered by the system and they don't have courage to step out into being who they are. And it's a real paradox because I need courage to become who I really am.
Yeah.
You know, it is a real tragedy of the humanity, you know, because we need courage to realize that we are courageous. And then after that, the road follows. So courage is the start of you being human, you know. So then once when you step into the courage, where's then the question of being respected or not? And who's there to respect you, you know, because the moment we are seeking respect, we're slipping into duality, okay? So you have somebody who's offering respect and you have an object of respect. So you have the two.
Yes, but then like if we come back to 3D, then we will find what is my feeling like when you have that play, okay, do you feel appreciated or respected is about like sometimes you feel like you're stuck with one person, like you can't, you know, like there is certain emotions there, then you feel like it's not somehow resolved, like there is, you know, like a rope between two of you and you can't really move from that. That's also like it's how to explain that. Sometimes it's so hard, actually.
Yeah, really sometimes letting go is hard. Okay, same as birth. You know, humans cry when they're born, right? Because the entire universe you have to compress into something that is the size of the football, right? Of course, it's painful. Okay.
But then, like for example, if you have that situation, like in your family, the people could have that with their parents, for example. How to can you just repeat once more how to like practically how to step out from that relationship? And I said okay, and it's so hard because you have history with that people.
Yes,
right?
It's true. Look,
and
I mean,
you have a family tree as well, you know, like same family tree.
I always say that, you know, you can't stop having parents. Okay, if you are a parent, you cannot stop being parent. You know, your kids cannot stop being your kids. You as somebody's kid, you cannot stop being somebody's kid, right? So you need to respect, honor, and cherish those relationships in their own pure form. Okay. Right. But then you have to let go of all the judgment, right? So once when you let go of all the judgment, particularly judgment of you, judging yourself, okay, or self-judgment, then you can you can deeper understand your life, and then you can arrive at the point where it is not important what other people say or think about you.
Yes, and you know, like there is also,
And
like,
it takes courage, of course, you know,
Yeah.
like, you know, you're holding on to a person who's hurting you, you know, and why are we holding on to that person? Because if that person is released, also part of our identity is released, okay? And of course, your mind or ego doesn't want to lose the identity, you know, because the identity is a conceptual form, right? So if you lose identity, what's going to happen, right? The mind will dissolve, and the mind doesn't want to be dissolved.
Yeah, but like there are also some societies, like I'm originally from Montenegro,
Mm-hmm.
and for example,
And I'm from Bosnia, which is bordering Montenegro.
But yeah, it's about boundaries as well, you know,
Yes.
like I thought that this topic is connected to boundaries as well. But what I wanted to say is sometimes there is I don't know if I will use proper English words. It's a collective unconscious things. Like, for example, in Montenegro, females are
Yes.
not respected for centuries. So they were,
They're called archetypes.
yes.
Archetypes, yes. So it's a collection of social conditionings and behaviors,
And how to jump
which you
out from,
abide. You have to, well,
when you are from that kind of
you-
surrounding, it doesn't matter if it is from Australia or I don't know, like US,
Yeah.
or there are certain societies, I'm sure, all around the globe.
it takes courage.
They
takes
put
courage.
down
Yes.
some like
Yeah.
females, males, or somebody.
Yeah. But it's a question of a journey of the soul, okay? Because ultimately, the world is the reflection of light. It's the reflection of God, but the world that we see is not God, even though God is evident everywhere. Okay, so the journey of the soul is that through those reflections, our individual self is yearning to integrate or merge with the universal self. Okay, so on that journey, the most difficult aspect to relinquish is the family ties, right? And then after family ties, I'm talking about your lineage, right? Your ancestral lineage. Okay, so once when you step out of that, the next challenge will be the social archetypes, you know. So you're coming from Montenegro, and in Montenegro things are done this way, and if you don't do it this way, then you are proclaimed crazy, stupid, weird names. Okay, they put tags on you, and same in different environments, right? So and then as you start relinquishing those conditionings or identifications, every further step is much easier. But the most difficult one is the two of them, the ancestral one, which relates to your ancestors, and the social one, you know, where you were primarily born.
Okay. Okay. And can you just please repeat, like in daily life, like when we are talking, sometimes when you are talking about self and that higher stuff, like, you know, like you need to be really person on high frequency to sometimes to understand or to follow that. Or even if you understand, sometimes I can understand, but I can't follow because I'm still not ready, for example, right? So like in daily life, how to respond to disrespect, what we can do, just turn and run. You can't always like turn and say, okay, goodbye. I think so. I don't know. I think you can't always.
Depends how often it happens, and it's circumstantial, but the best way to do it is basically send blessing to that person, right? Because that person is unconsciously is helping you to realize deeper truth about yourself. Okay, at least,
and to find your way.
yeah,
to find your path as well.
at least that situation will trigger a self-inquiry process,
Yeah.
And then once when you're going within, there's lots of things you'll find.
So
you just have to be courageous to look into them.
Yeah. So there was one experience so we experienced it together, Zoran and me, but we acted differently. So we've been in one place for like 3 months, and we experienced that we are really not respected, we are not welcomed and all that. So for example, I would probably I would stay there for a long period of time, and I would like try and try and try. But Zoran was in one moment, he was out and he came home and he said, "Okay, Rosna, I'm going." And I said,
"No,
okay.
I said, we are
going. But then I said, "Okay, let's talk." But he said, "No more talk." And he usually is about like, he's usually a person who is like would talk and say, "Okay, let's see this and that." He would always involve me into into family decisions. So this time he said, "No more talk." And I said, "But Zoran, like we can, no more talk." And he said, "Okay." He bought a ticket, and in 3 days he was going back to a city to find another solution. So I actually really
and actually what happened if you, and I mean this is a good example where you can actually see, once when you act according to your truth, right, no matter what outcome happens after that, right, the situation will be favorable for you, right, and life will support you always. Okay, so and you will always sleep tight, no problems at all, right? So always remember that no matter the circumstances, always act according to your truth, not somebody else's truth. Okay, so what actually happened after that, I bought a ticket, and I went to Brisbane, and I was looking for a new place, and actually the place found me, so without even trying. So the universe said, "Okay, here you go." So then I called Ross and I said, "I'm coming next Tuesday, pack up, and we're going."
Yeah, I can't say that I agreed fully with Zoran at that stage, but he was not, I couldn't negotiate, he was like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
And also,
but it turned out better, you see, because I always say situations like that, especially if they're strong, they actually happen to improve you, when the hammer is down, when it's hammering, it's very difficult to be a wise person and be spiritual or whatever, because it's hurting, but afterwards, if you allow time, particularly with the distance of the time, you will actually realize that the situation was always supporting you.
Yes, but to be honest, Zoran, it took me almost a year to heal that from that experience. Yes. It was a really painful experience. Yes, it was. And sometimes it really hurts when people are disrespect us, or when they're doing like not really nice things without any reasons that we can see, or maybe they can see. But and sometimes we can be really hurt, because especially if you open your heart and you give everything, and then just like cold shower.
Yeah, but that situation was more complex because there were how do you say, deliberate intentions, right? And that's a little bit more difficult situation than just disrespect, right?
Yes. Yes,
But then you need to understand what triggered these people to behave in a certain way. In this case, for example, being multi-skilled presented threat for these people, and that was the point of no return, you know.
Yeah, but there's also, we don't know what is behind, like, you know, like what was the karmic stuff
And
between
in the
us
end,
as
you
well.
know, the point is that, you know, I don't care about the other side. I care actually what happened within me and the transformation that occurred after that, you know, and the healing as well, you know. So,
But
and
then-
without that, I wouldn't be able to say this now, you
But
know.
why
Although prior to that, I had, you know, many situations like that, but this was probably one of the strongest one, I would say.
But then, why every transformation has to be so painful?
That's because suffering is inherent to humanity. Suffering or situation is a kick in the ass for everybody to move. So without that, the world would never move. You see, without suffering, unfortunately, it is like that, and it's a matter of choice. People would never move in their life, and without suffering, humanity would deteriorate. Right? So the suffering is like a primary mover, you know, like a kick in the bum.
Unfortunately.
Well, it's unfortunate because it's painful, it hurts.
Yeah. Well, you know, like I was thinking a few days back, and I had like a quite challenging life, right? Because there was a war on the area where I was born. I was moving a lot, all that stuff. I lost many times everything. So it was so, you know, like not like you.
I'm the master of that.
So actually, we were counting like a month ago. We were counting how many times we were moving, and I won, unfortunately. And I'm younger, almost 10 years. And
no, I probably forgot a few moves.
Yeah, it could be because of your years.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I just suddenly I was thinking about my life. I would not change anything. I would maybe less work, more go and travel around. But then I figured out, oh my God, what kind of soul am I? You know, is in this body? Because like, you know, so for example, if you ask me if I would give this life, wish somebody to have this life, I would say no way. You know, only if I don't like you. Then I was thinking, oh my God, and this soul actually
that's disrespect.
Yeah, but
itself.
this soul chose to have such a how to call that?
Colorful life.
Colorful life, and there was a lot of love as well in my life, but there was so many different situations and hard. So I was like, oh my God, how amazing soul am I to choose that kind of life, which is not easy, you know? So then I was like, oh, you know, like, so I was happy with, with myself after that.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can't change your life. And I always say, if you wish that your life was different, you are delusional, right? If you ask yourself, is there anything that you would want to change in life? Or sorry, in your life that's past? If the answer is no, that means you are stable, right? Because you can't really go back and change
Coming
things,
back.
you know.
I'm still not stable, but you know, like
it's great, you know.
There.
It's great because without all that stuff, you know, you and I and them, they wouldn't be here.
Yes. And then yeah. Well, for the end, can you just I'm asking all the time, can you repeat clearly what we can do when so how to so you said if we feel disrespected, just drop it and go away.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
Yes.
Is there another stuff?
Stay truthful to yourself. Basically, remind yourself who you are. Remember that there's a whole power universe sitting in you. Remember that you are reporting to the stars. You're not reporting to human minds. And be still. Be content about who you are. the universe wanted you exactly like that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Yeah. So it's interesting when you start thinking like that. And sometimes the best thing is to send blessing to those people who disrespect you and turn around and walk your path, right? Save your dignity and save your sanity.
Yes, so we can't actually control what others
Correct.
do, but we can control how we would respond to that.
Yes, correct. I had a really interesting experience where I learned basically that you can't satisfy everybody and don't try to satisfy everybody. Become consumer of your own stuff. So if you, whatever you are doing in your life, you first have to become consumer of that, okay? You become happy with that. You become content with that, right? And then don't worry about the rest, okay? So that's really important.
So there is one question
Yes.
on Facebook. Would you say that we serve to each other as a mirror? This is a really good question. I
Well,
had that in my mind, but I forgot.
I think I spoke about mirrors. There is no thing as one mirror. There are at least 12 mirrors in the universe. And the problem with the mirrors is that when you're looking at the mirror, the picture is upside down or the other way around. Okay, so sometimes when something is happening, you may not be aware that you're mirroring something, right? And sometimes what you're seeing has got nothing to do with you, so let's say, for example, I've been vegan for more than 30 years, right? But I see that the world is eating meat. Okay, so is that my mirror? You know what I mean? Like there are certain things which can be of use in your lifetime, like statements like that. Okay, but sometimes they can lead you into delusion, right? Because if your mind is trying to control your spiritual progress, so you'll use all these sayings to hammer you down, so that you don't realize your power within. So yes, the world, the universe communicates to us through others, but also that same universe communicates through me to them as well. Okay, so it's interaction, right? The most important thing is that you recognize the process and that you're always asking yourself, why have I done this the way I've done it, right? Why did I say this the way I said it? All these things, always go back and interrogate, inquire why your action was in such way, so that you can actually distinguish whether your response came as a result of the impulse or instinct, as a result of the identification with your ancestral energy or social energy, or some program or pattern, or you actually came from the purity of the heart.
Yes, but like, can we call mirroring in this sense? Mirroring, can we call it like also like we are all connected certain ways, and how we are connected? We are connected through our karma, right? But also like on the pattern levels, right? So when we are talking about mirroring, like for example, in one family, if you have a kid and then your kids are mirroring you, actually they're just taking the pattern from your family tree. Is that correct? So it's not, they're not mirroring you exactly. It's just the repeating pattern. Like you have that pattern, your kid has that pattern, your grandkids has that pattern.
But look, yes, that is true. But I think the question was more related to an adult relations. A lot of people suffer from disrespecting their work environment. Okay. So yes, that also could be part of the mirror. So maybe the first question which you need to ask yourself, which aspect of me is disrespecting me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But there.
So why am I disrespecting something in me, right? And you know, when you mentioned our own situation, maybe there was an aspect of us not respecting our skills and abilities, you know.
For
So
sure.
that created that particular friction. But even if that's the case,
But that's
even
attraction again of the
yes,
patterns,
but
right?
yes, but even if that's the case, if it's recognized, you must do something about it. You see, becoming a aware person or rising in your awareness uh, uh, also brings responsibility with it. You know, once when you know, you cannot continue being irresponsible. So you have to take responsibility for your life, you know. So, you know, I demonstrated that with my actions, you know.
Mhm.
So there was no way to stay submitted to that situation. I had to change something no matter what. I had nowhere to go, nowhere to live, right? But I
Yeah.
made a cut and I acted according to my truth, and the universe just paved the way for me, you
And
know.
actually path open for you.
Yes, correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
So same
that's true.
goes with this situation. If you recognize that uh, uh, what you're receiving from your environment is somehow linked to yourself, so it is your aspect. Ask yourself which part of me I'm not respecting. What is it that I'm not realizing within me that is enough? Okay, where am I insecure about myself and my life, my skills, abilities, my physical body, my ability to live, love, give love, be loved, and all these things.
Yeah, well,
and do something about it.
One interesting thing came to my mind. So when we had that experience, so when we chose to do that, to go there, the path just opened for us. But when we changed our decision, the path opened again.
Yes, correct.
So actually, the universe will support you either way.
Yes.
It's your decision where you want you to go. It's
And
just...
sometimes universe will make situation for you so that you deliberately go through it to pick up the experience, and then a lot of people experience they call suffering, right? But suffering needs to transform into experience, which in the end transforms into wisdom, right? So that is the way out of it. And then if we are talking about karmic pattern, it always had to happen like that. No matter what you did in your life, it had to happen that way. Then with the realization of that truth and arriving at the point of wisdom, you are relinquishing that pattern or karmic propensity.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you.
Okay, so when you think about world as your mirror, especially in today's world where we see a lot of structures are crumbling and changing and all that stuff, and it's great uncertainty, you know, in the physical plane. Uh, uh, always always remember who you are, your true essence, and that by taking responsibility for your life, you can change things for better, you know. So that if the world, let's say the world it is now, if that is the mirror, right, then do something about it, you know, take responsibility, and you know, at least be gentle towards yourself, love yourself, and all these things. So it depends how it is, and the most important thing is that you relinquish the need to control things, right?
Yeah, so we actually attract situations and people
Yes.
according to our frequency, right?
Yes, yes.
Our patterns, our
Yes.
lifestyle.
And sometimes it's painful, you know, like you may not discover something unless it hits you from the outside, you know, and then you end up picking up your shattered pieces and trying to rebuild your life, put things together and move on, you know. It happens, like it happened to me so many times.
Me too. Yeah, so like, what is the English word for nomads, right?
Nomads, yeah.
Nomads.
Right.
So we are nomads. Okay, Zoran, is there anything else you would like to add?
No,
I think there is no more. I'm trying to see if there are more questions here, but I think there is no questions. No more questions. If there is a new question, we will reply later. Actually, Zoran will reply on Facebook. And this will be available in next Thursday on our YouTube channel. And yeah, that's it for this Moksha Coffee. And just like one thing, you can drink tea as well, even though this is Moksha Coffee.
Yeah, we call it
Do you
coffee
prefer that?
because in our country it's
a coffee.
See, it's an archetype, you know. When
Yeah,
you want to spend time with somebody and exchange energy, we say let's have a coffee, because the coffee doesn't have to be physically coffee, you know, but it is a gathering point and exchange of energies.
Yeah, and that's exactly.
And you can
what
also have coffee with yourself. It's called meditation.
In the nature, for example, somewhere. Okay, that's it for today.
That's it.
Yeah. So see you people. Next Moksha Coffee is in 1 month on English language. In 2 weeks is on Balkan languages. Okay.
Okay. Right.
Bye.
Okay,
See
bye-bye.
you.